Hello there! Now we are going to talk about debate. Debate is basically a structured discussion. So you have some debate formats that are more open, like a presidential debate or a town hall debate, where groups of people debate against each other. Or you have debate formats that are far more structured, that carefully tell you how much time each person has to speak and so on and so forth. Every format has some kind of rule because those rules serve to preserve order and create some kind of balance. Those rules do not determine who wins or loses the debate. Debating isn't about the rules. The rules are there to create balance, to tell people how much time they will have to speak and so on and so forth. So, in every debate format, there will be some direction about the topics, about the timing, about the speaking order, and maybe a little bit of stuff about the judging criteria. How do you decide which team wins and which team loses?
Okay, in here, I will explain some about the rules of debate based on British parliamentary. British parliamentary debate is very widespread. It has also been adopted as the official style of the World Universities Debating Championship and the European Universities Debating Championship, at which the speakers are given only 15 minutes notice of the motion. Speeches are usually between 5 and 7 minutes in duration. The debate consists of 4 teams of 2 speakers, sometimes called factions, with 2 teams on either side of the cast. Because of the style's origins in British parliamentary procedure, the 2 sides are called the government and opposition, while the speakers take their titles from those of their parliamentary equivalent, such as the opening government speaker called the Prime Minister. Furthermore, since this style is based on parliamentary debate, each faction is considered to be one of 2 parties in a coalition. They must therefore differentiate themselves from the other team on their side of the case in order to succeed in their own right. All speakers are expected to offer points of information or POIs to their opponents. POIs are particularly important in British parliamentary style, as it allows the first 2 teams to maintain their relevance during the course of the debate and the last 2 teams to introduce their arguments early in the debate. The first and the last minute of each speech is considered protected time, during which no POA may be offered. Depending on the country, there are variations in speaking time, speaking order, and the number of speakers. For example, in New Zealand, both the leader of the opposition and the Prime Minister offer a short summary as the last 2 speakers.
Here, I want to talk about the role of debate based on Australian parliamentary. There are some parts of the debate based on Australian parliamentary process that we must know. The first is motion. Motion is topics are debated. The second is parameters. Parameter is limitation of the argument. Is the limit that must be given by the positive team so that the conversation is not long and not in accordance with the motion. The next is team split. the parts that will be discussed by each speaker. For example, society point of view, law point of view, morality point of view, health point of view, and others. The next is timeline. The outline or core of the motion is taken from the entire argument. The next is matter. Matter is the matter submitted but must be appropriate and related to the motion. Do not get off track. The next is manner. The mode of delivery of the argument. You must be polite, firm, convincing. The voice should not be soft because it affects the strength of your argument. The next is method. The delivery method of the first speaker until the third speakers and the division of thought should be clear. Thus, three elements affect the margin in judging. The next is timer. This is also very important. We should not stop long before time runs out and should not also pass from the time. The next is replace speech. The conclusion of the three arguments is corroborating can be delivered by the first and the second speaker. The third speaker should not give speech or reply in Australian debate rules. Alright, here I'm going to explain the role of debate based on Australian parliamentary. In debate, Australian parliamentary, there are two groups, affirmative team and negative team. Each team consists by three members, the first speaker, the second speaker, and the third speaker. The first speaker must be introducing theme, given the motion, parameters, timeline, and theme split. After that, he or she must give some argument. Same with the affirmative theme. The first speaker from negative theme should be introducing theme, given the motion, timeline, and theme split. After that, she or he gives some argument. The second speaker. The second speaker must be from affirmative theme must be rebut the first speaker of negative theme. After that, give some argument. Same with affirmative theme. The negative theme, the second speaker must be rebuttal the first speaker of affirmative theme. After that, give some argument. The third speaker from affirmative theme must be rebut the second speaker of negative theme. Give some provides from the first and the second speaker arguments. After that, provide powerful examples and evidence for the overall argument of the theme. Same with the affirmative theme, the third speaker from negative theme must be rebut the second speaker of affirmative theme. Give some provides from the first and the second speaker argument. After that, provide powerful example and evidence for the overall argument of the theme.
Here, I would like to talk about what is the American parliamentary debate. American parliamentary debate is the kind of debate parliamentary system, which the system is there are two team, government and opposition, and every team consists by two members. The first speaker from government, that is Prime Minister, and the first speaker from opposition, that is leader of the opposition. The second speaker from government, that is member of government, and the second speaker from opposition, that is member of the opposition, and the last speaker from government, that is leader of opposition rebut, and the last speaker from opposition, that is Prime Minister rebut. Case and resolutions. 3 requirements. 1. Not status quo. 2. Not fake or theological. 3. Not specific knowledge. But in American parliamentary system, there are different ways of standing up and interrupting the other side's speech in order to ask a question or make a point. The first is point of clarification, the second is point of order, the third is point of information.